Hey everybody. So let's answer this question. What happens when I play against probably the highest rated player in the state of Colorado? This match took place a while ago, over a month ago now, easily, but just kind of got overlooked. I had a lot of other content, a lot of other commentary that I wanted to do, and then started the new league, and stuff kind of gets away from me. But I did find the footage for this, and I'm going to run the commentary here today. I'm really excited about this one because when you come up against a player like this, especially in this short format like this Saturday night tournament is, you cannot loosen up, you cannot relax. Any of those little mistakes, those trademarked amateur pool mistakes that we kind of love to see but kind of hate to see, you cannot get away with those. This guy, at one time, I looked it up, was in the top 50 players in the United States. So a Fargo 747, Tommy D'Alfonso. I've gotten to know him a little bit. I wouldn't call him a friend yet. I want to get to know him a little better if I have the chance. But he kind of hangs around this particular pool hall often on Saturday nights. He's a really great guy. Very, very friendly. A little cagey at times, but I think he's got a lot of history. He's got a lot of secrets. And road player, and with that level of Fargo, I mean, he can run with the pros, right? Plays a lot of big table and is just an absolute monster on the little table. So I'm very excited about this. I'm always excited to have the chance to play against Tommy in this tournament. Like I said, even if it's the short format like this, you'll have to excuse the overlap here, but yeah, you can clearly see the Fargos there. Always excited to play against him because the stakes are high. He's pretty much always going to knock somebody to the loser side or out of the tournament altogether. But in the short races like this, it is anyone's game to some extent. So let's just jump right in here. He opens up. The 8 on the break doesn't count in this format because it is just such a short form. So he has to spot that, but he's allowed to continue to play. I was out with a couple of my friends at the pool hall. They were just kind of checking out the tournament that night. And I was sitting there fully anticipating that he was just going to sort of run out, and then I was going to have to try to do the same when I got up to the table. And to be honest, I wasn't paying close attention to the layout and the choice. And so when I approached the table here, I was not aware that the table was still open, which is just a flub on my part, just a pure mistake. And there are certainly options. I definitely like the stripes here. I think taking the 15 now, since you've got it, makes a lot of sense. I came to the table thinking I had solids. So just a mistake of counting balls on the table and assuming that he had already made one and then missed. So my play is to do something with the 2 ball, roll it into the 10 to basically either make the 2 or block that pocket. I tried to play it full, but kind of mishit it a little bit. And then I leave the table because in my mind, I'm calling the 2. I was not playing the 10. I go back down, I go to sit down, and Tommy turns to me and says, "Anthony, what did you just do?" And I said, I played the 2. And he was like, "The table was open." And I was like, I didn't know that. I called the 2 ball. So I'm just making sure, like, I'm being honest here. I'm not trying to take advantage of anybody, obviously. This was such a great opportunity, and just the simple fact that I was not paying close enough attention got me in trouble. We're letting Tommy back to the table. Now, the 9 ball's locked up. He can take solids because the table, is still, And look at this. Look at this immediate second chance that we get in this opening rack. This is huge. And I'm amazed. I'm sitting there with my friends, kind of like whispering little side commentary. We never see this kind of thing from Tommy. The fact that he just slid out too far and fully hooked himself behind the 15. He has no easy hit. But calling the 6 in the side. This is a very hittable ball. It's also very makeable because the ball's so close to the pocket. There's lots of ways the 6 can go. Oh, he makes a really great hit. Somehow that doesn't scratch. But I've got another good chance. Back on the table, and I'm looking at the lines for, the 15. Kind of in a weird spot. Do we have to open with the 14 here and then get on the 12? The 12 and then kind of punch back out for the 14 in the side. Either works. I think you're awkward queuing over the side pocket. I might like the 14 a little better here, seeing it this way. But this is okay. The 5's pretty much always going to help you get to the right side of the 14. This is looking pretty straightforward. You're going to roll up to get on the 9. The 9 puts you on the 15. Or sorry, this is probably the 13 here. This is the 9. Colors get a little washed out on this overhead camera that they have at this particular location. I like that stroke, good authoritative. You could certainly ease up on that ball, but really the trick is going to be getting from the 9 to the 8, but nothing's crazy here. Natural angle, and I follow my normal process, but I don't do my pre-strokes when I'm standing up, and that's so critical for me at this point in my game, determining the speed of the stroke. And look at what happens. Look how far. I mean, obviously I'm playing for this window, right, for the corner. I roll so far past my window on the 8. I need to take a lap. I need to compose myself. I need to take a breath. This is a very makeable ball. Okay, I'm not rushing into this 8 ball. But I distinctly remember immediately feeling flustered that I got so badly out of shape on the 8. And whether that was a skid or whether that was just a pure miss, just botched it. It was such a great opportunity to take this rack. And we just did. Man, there's no reason to turn the table back. So he's going safe all day. It's not an impossible out from where he was, but if you're able to get ball in hand at this point, definitely go for it. And he puts me in a really, really tough spot where you're super close to the long rail trying to kick into the 8, and you're having to bridge over the 6. It's hittable. You could conceivably make this, but having to bridge over the 6, there's just, unless you hit it really pure, there's some weird spin that can happen and unintentional kind of masse type action that can come into the cue ball. So he puts me in a tough spot. And yeah, I'm having to stretch across the table and bridge over the 6. I can cleanly hit this for sure, but the angle's so hard to judge. At least I have trouble, I should say. I have trouble judging this angle when it's this close. Yeah, just grazed the edge of the 6. I think it was always going to be hard to get around that ball. I wonder if the 2 rail was probably a better option just to make a good hit, just so then you're, less likely to give up ball in hand. Probably smarter. Connect the dots from here. There's really nothing too tricky about the 3 and the 4. But yeah, if he uses the 6 to get on one of those two, maybe roll up for the 4 in the side, then he's fine. Something about Tommy's game that really stands out to me is he just doesn't seem like he cares that much. He's so relaxed. You never really see him get flustered. There's 0% emotion, like emotiveness at the table, which is very old school, right? And I don't know too much about it. I think he came up in Rhode Island, Massachusetts kind of area. His Fargo says Massachusetts, and he played out of Snookers for a while. But I mean, played the best. Look him up, Tommy D'Alfonso. You'll see him playing Strickland. You'll see him playing Dennis Hatch, and like he was running with those guys. You know, this is like 10 years ago, I guess, but road player and big games to his name. Not sure if he's got any titles necessarily, but still shows up on AZ Billiards. You know, top earners because he'll take high places in some of these local tournaments out here. The Stevie Chan tournament that I went out for, he took fifth in that. So he plays like a monster. But you got to play these guys. Don't scratch. Let me stay on the table. So we're down one. It's not the end of the world, but we had it. There's that old line. We do not stay at the table in this case because it's a dry break. Not the easiest out. This cluster down here is definitely going to give him problems, give either of us problems if I get a look at this. He's got good options to open with either suit, really. The 14 is pretty straightforward. The 3 or the 5 could be played right away. So he wants the stripes, maybe getting from the 14 down to the 12. Yeah. This leads you down table, and he could play into this cluster to try to open it up. Maybe with the hopes that the 10 will nudge the 11 out, or that hitting the cluster will send him onto the other side of the 15. The 9's up here too, so if he does come out and across table, the 9 will be there. So a lot of good can come out of breakout. Yeah, he tried to get into him, but missed it. I think he ended up with a good look at the 11. The 9 goes clean down here. And then once he makes the 9, he could make the 10. So he could just sort of surgically pick this apart instead of rolling into them. But he got a favorable look at the 11 ball here. Maybe it doesn't go clean. Or maybe he was calling the 9. I think he tried to... That's another weird choice. Maybe the 11 didn't go. It could be hard to tell from up here, but... It almost looked like he will play those from time to time. It kind of surprises me. He'll play a swerve or a masse. He's just not afraid of those. But as you saw, they can bite you. And we have to take advantage of this. We have to use this opportunity now. Again, the cluster's tough. The 2 and the 6 ball are not in a great position for me. The 3-5's not super comfortable, but it's also not terribly difficult to play the combination if you had to. So we have to address that and then probably use the 7 ball to get back down table. So use the 4 to get back across. We're pretty thin on the 4. Like I said, this match was a while ago, so I don't remember all the innings. Long and straight in on the 7. It just might be tough to shape the 5 or the 3 coming off the 4. Although, I don't know, this kind of looks natural to me, coming across table. I'm playing the long 7 ball. I wanted to get tidier on the 4, I guess. That's tough, though. I don't think I love that because the 7 could have connected us to the 2 and the 6. We did get a nicer angle on the 4, but this feels like a pattern error. Roll up for the 5 and then use the 3 to get down there. Yeah, really spin into the 4. We're straight on the 5, so we'll have to punch out. But using this angle, so getting into this area and using this angle to come out, maybe we shape the 6? This is going to be tough. Oh, we punched out a lot. Got a lot more out of that than we needed. Luckily, we're not perfectly straight. I'm trying to play into this window, it looks like. I telegraph a lot, don't I? I just like show exactly what I'm doing. I guess there's nothing wrong with that. I just want to tell my body what to do. Yeah, get into that long rail past the side. Above or below the side is fine here, but maybe commit to one or the other. Where's the 2 ball going? This is touchy. I appreciate that I'm taking a little bit of extra time to get neat on the 6. Oh, okay, I'm coming to the other side. This is going to need a roll. Don't love that. I wonder why I played out to that side. I kept sighting this in. Felt pretty natural. Maybe I just mishit that. Maybe I was trying to go on the lower side of the table here as we're looking at it. Do I have to go safe here? I mean, I guess that's all right, but the 2's buried, and he should be able to just send me up table without a look at either. That's risky. Letting him back in there is risky. The shape from the 6 to the 2 was always going to be tough, but now look. Now what do we do? Jump the 6? I'm going to have to jump this ball. You can kick into the 2, but there's not much of a future because it's going to spread out the 9 and the 10, and then you need some pace to get a rail. One rail kick at the 6, I don't think that's there to try to get between the 15 and the 9. Yeah, that angle doesn't really make sense to me. I don't know if that goes. I need to try to figure out if there's a tool. I've been looking around for OBS, which is what I used to do the matches. If there's a tool to do a perfect straight line. Because my freehand on the mouse, it's, passable, but it'd be nice to just sort of point, and have it draw a perfectly straight line, and then I can use those to show angles. I'm jumping at this ball, which is honestly not terrible. I like my jump most of the time, and I can hit this a little low, pop back off the 6, and then you've got a pretty big window to work with on the 2. I don't hate this. It's hittable, if nothing else, but this looks pretty makeable to me. Reasonable percentage, better than the kicks. Better chance of working out. I don't feel comfortable with this, though. It looks like... Am I going to have to dart stroke this? I'm breaking it down like I'm going into the short, extra short jump cue. Maybe I felt like going with a standard jump was going to put too much into it. The dart does give it a little less momentum from what I found, at least the way that I hit it. So maybe the idea is just give it a hop over so that it doesn't get away from us here. Oh, close. Pretty close, man. Came into the point. It wasn't a terrible miss. So he's looking at the combo. The 9 still goes in the bottom right. That would go clean. The 15 could put you on it. If you play the 15 in the bottom side, you could pretty naturally get on the 9 ball. I don't expect any other mistakes from Tommy here. This is the kind of layout that he should be able to pick apart. Yeah, 9, 11, 15, or sorry, whatever that was. 13 and the 9 keep tripping me up. 11 puts him on the 15, 15 puts him on the 9. Then he's on the hill. Those shots are so important, whether it's the stun run through or just sort of a controlled follow. Yeah, he's trying to come out and back for the 9 in the bottom right. As long as he's on the proper side of the 9, he should be able to get on the 10. Yep, just punch over for that. He's sort of on the wrong side of the 10 here, but he should just be able to roll through or pull back. Yeah. That'll do. We gave that one up basically just because of a bad decision of how to play shape on those two balls that were down table. Let me in there. This is a tough layout. I'm happy to get back to the table, but him being on the hill and it's alternate breaks, so if we're able to snag this game and then break and make something happen with that game, we've got a chance. But this is tough. Tough layout. 2 balls a problem. The 3 and the 7 are a problem if you go with the solids. I mean, really, the cluster kind of makes both very challenging. You've got a good opening shot on either. The 4 ball goes, the 15 ball goes. Maybe we go into them. No, it looks like I'm pulling away from it. I'm gonna get up into the side pocket here. The one's not in a great spot, but it's playable. Maybe the idea is use the 5 to go into the stack. Really relying on luck at that point. I'm looking at the angle that I want on the 5 to play into them. We're kind of thin on the 6. Might be hard to miss that ball. Yeah, I was trying to hold it too much, basically. Yeah, you're never gonna love this, right? You're just turning it over to an opponent who can pull these racks apart. He's going into them. He's just gonna roll the dice. It didn't turn out terrible. He opened up a bunch of his. Really, the 9 ball's the only problem left. Yeah, that's a tough miss, the 6 on the side. I feel like I remember that one. He's going after the 14 instead of the 13 here. But he plays it nice. Gives it enough pace that it's not skidding, which I need to think about that. Just historically, it's not something that I've thought enough about. And I really need to, especially conditions like where I tend to play. Overrolls this quite a bit. Probably does not have the 12 here. He's got to settle for the 10. This could be his chance to get the 9 ball out of trouble if he goes into the 13. Yeah, kind of awkward stretch, but should be okay. I pulled away from it. And he's kind of flat on the 13 now. He still has enough of an angle to go into the rail and back out, but yeah, he's got to figure out how he wants to go into the 9 or the 2. He's got to free that up, otherwise it's an open table. Went into the 9. Freed it up, but he's weird on the 12. I remember this. He tries to back cut this, but also kind of hold it with spin. And the 12 doesn't go. I think the plan would have been make the 12 and take his medicine on the 9, probably just try to slice that one in as well. Like I said, he doesn't care. He can make them from anywhere. But the 12 just did not cooperate. This is our last good chance. With the 12 hanging and the 9 right there, absolutely cannot afford any kind of mistake here. You really don't even want to try to go safe. So the question is, you got to get behind the 3 ball. How do we do that? Because the 3 is not going to want to go past through the 12 unless you really hit it full. Get down table and around. Oh, I don't love this. You have a look at the 3, but you're shooting over the 9. That was not well played. I have to try to roll the 7. Or shoot the 7 in and sort of drift down for the 1. I think I have the 2, actually. That's probably the safest. And get back up table for the 6. Got lucky. Played that 5 ball kind of weird. I'm going with inside to sort of kill it. But with pace. Oh boy. Why'd I go into it with that kind of speed? We're okay. We've got the 6. We can sort of punch out for the 7. We still have to get behind the 3, and that means we're going to need the right angle on the 3 to get under the 1. The pattern play here is pretty rough. We could get out, but man, I am not making it look easy. Okay. We're on the good side of the 7 to get over for the 3. That's the key shot, is getting good on the 3. That kind of flat on it. We're okay, though. I think we got enough below it that we can roll up for the 1. And then it's just clutch up. A little bit of an angle on the 1 unless we want to play short side on the 8. I had to kind of stun through it. And we have a little bit of an angle on the 1, which should naturally set up for the 8 in the bottom left. Play clean, man. Okay. Not a tester on the 8, but and we're breaking. That's fine. That'll have to do. My goodness. What a piecemeal out. Pretty good second ball break. Made a couple. And we've got options. Look at the spread. This opened up really nice. Better than his breaks, I have to say. Don't tell him I said that. Actually, if anything, it's his fault that I'm breaking better because he told me a while ago that I need to start going into the second ball more consistently in these tournaments. At this location, I used to go head ball pretty consistently. So yeah, you brought this on yourself, Tommy. I'll just go with that narrative. Anyway, 12 goes. Are we taking stripes here? Yeah, probably, right? The 8's going to end up in the bottom side. We need to get up table. The 9 puts us on the 12. We're a little flat on the 9, kind of on the wrong side of it. Maybe we take the 12 now and get back around for the 9 or the 11? Or can we use the 9 and get a better angle on the 12? 12's kind of the key shot because it's so separated from everything. Hey, at least my pattern's going to be a little nicer this time. Okay, I don't mind this. Sort of just punch over for the 12. Yeah, make sure you know what you're doing, man. Stand up. 11 puts you on the 10, on the 15, on the 8. Yeah, this is fine. Gotta commit. A little break and run keeps us in this game. Yeah. Don't get too greedy here, though. Like, it was the 5 ball. The 5 to the 6 or something. Missed that in the lower side. Even that, yeah, without even punching out, I think just giving a little more distance to play into the bigger part of the position window on the 12. This is the key shot. We got to come out and around, maybe graze the 2 ball. Don't go into the side. Oh, that would have been game over. Wow. Yeah. Caught more of the 2 ball than I thought I would. Yeah, this is going to be fine. So I think you want to go from the 11 to the 10 to the 15 basically just a stop shot here or just pinching back to get straight on the 10. I'm rolling this. I guess that's okay, because I'll play short rail for the 10. That makes them all sort of a rolling ball, which is okay. Maybe less risky than trying to pinch back off the 11. It's going to work out. I guess that's fine. Okay. I'm starting to feel it a little here. Hill, hill. Don't break and run, Tommy. Let me play some more. 12 doesn't go, but there's options. It looked like the 12 was going. It bobbled. Yeah, the 214's a little funky. The 10 and the 3. So he's got to develop that. The 6 can develop that. Opening shot is the question. 13 in the side. $13 and then the 14. I don't think the 10 goes in the bottom right. Okay. Use the 5 to stop. Doesn't really complicate anything by moving the 5. If the 10 goes in the bottom right, then the 14 puts him on that. And it's smooth sailing from there. I don't know if it does. Oh, he's going into it. It's a great play. And he hit it perfect. He hit it just full enough to get it past the 3 and the 6. Just shape anything from here and pretty much you're out. That was the key shot. Stun out for the 11 in the side. Okay, pulled back. That should work. I don't see Tommy making any mistakes from here. He's given me so many chances. It's good. A little out and back. Roll up for the 9. Yep. Nice. Make sure you stay on the good side of the 5. A lot of players in this pool hall would have given it up from the 12 to the 8. I would have told him to stop. There it is. So Tommy snags that one. It's good play from him. Some decent play from me, I'll say, for the most part. This kind of thing's awesome. I love this tournament. I like the format. It's a short race, so it's just a nail biter from beginning to end against most opponents anyway. There will be more content coming from this tournament from that location. And they have sort of overhead cameras, and I've got permission to use that footage and everything. So it makes it easy for me, basically, that I don't have to bring my whole kit. So I'll definitely be putting more of those out. More BCA is on its way. We're taking a few weeks off for the holidays, so there won't be a ton of BCA coming up. And then at the beginning of January, it's Masters. So there'll be a little bit of a lull here, I would imagine, around the holidays. But yeah. Just going to post as much as I can. Hope you all are enjoying. If you get breaks or if you get holidays or vacation time, take care of yourselves. Enjoy that downtime. And I will see you again for the next video.